There's one move with the wrists and hands that separates amateurs from great ball strikers, and chances are you're not doing it. Meet Dr. Golfstein, the golf professor, who's helped thousands of golfers to fix exactly that. What's your problem? I either chunk the ball, hit it thin, and if I hit it, it goes short and all over the place because I cannot control the club face at all. What you are describing, 10 out of 10 golfers do the same. You're not alone. Yeah, but I feel like I am the worst on the planet. There is one main reason why this is happening. You do not know how to use the wrists and hands in the golf swing. What do you mean exactly? When you're in the downswing and you lose this L shape, so some people also call it the lag. You lose it too early, look, the radius gets larger and you will stick it into the ground. And as a consequence, people start to pull in their arms and then they top it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I saw in the video the other day when I looked my swing in slow motion. I see it every day. Golfers just don't understand what to do with their wrists in the downswing and how to release the golf club. Okay, got it. So I will try to hold this angle here, the whole downswing in the future. Got it. That's one way you could go about it, but it probably won't help you. Great players actually do not try to hold this angle on purpose. They do it differently. What do you mean? To actually understand this better, I will explain it backwards. I will start at the impact position and work towards the setup position. If you look at setup position, you can see when I do a natural good grip, there's some wrist extension here in the lead wrist. This is very normal. And at impact, you will not have the same. It will be different. You will lose about 20 degrees of that wrist angle towards a bowing motion like this, and the wrist will be rather flat. Yeah, but why change it? The shaft lean will help you to deloft the golf club, which will help you to compress the ball better, get better contacts, hit the ball more here in the club face in the center, and it will also help you to get rid of losing that angle, the lag in the downswing. So not the same as in setup. No, it's a dynamic change. Okay, got it. So I could start like this, right? You do not preset it. This will not do you any good in the long run, believe me. But what do the PGA Pros do? The interesting thing is, there are only two very common ways how PGA Tour players use the wrists and hands in the golf swing. And I want to talk about the most common one now, the so-called turndown release. There are guys like Adam Scott or like Tommy Fleetwood who have this kind of release style or wrist movement style. So what you do is you take your backswing, and on the top of the backswing there is still some wrist extension from setup. Some have a little bit more, like Freddie Couples, some get a little bit flatter, and whatever, it's a very similar. But now, that's the key point, what I actually want to talk about now. When you do the transition move, when you go into transition and change the direction of the golf club, what they are doing actually, they are turning, they're twisting the golf club around its axis a little bit. Yeah? So they're basically moving it a little bit away from the target. You can see this is closing. This is strongly exaggerated. Twist the shaft, huh? It's only going to be like a quarter turn. It's just very slight, but it's a very important move. Why? Because with that position here, you will have the club face closed earlier, and which will mean you're gonna get into the impact zone with more consistency because it's not wide open. If it was wide open, this is exaggerated of course, what would you have to do? You have to try to close it quickly, and you can imagine this is really tough to time. And the next thing is, with that quarter move, that also loads that wrist. And it loads the wrist, and then you get you can maintain this lag feeling, this lag look, and not go this way too early. And it also sets up the forward shaft lean at impact. It's a very, very clever move. That's weird. To understand this better, let's do it the opposite way for demonstration purposes. So this time we don't turn the face away from the target. This time I will turn it actually towards the golfer in transition. So this move. So you can see immediately the shaft gets deeper. The club face is opening. You can also see from here that you immediately are losing the lag. That's why many golfers struggle with this, because they actually are twisting in the wrong direction. The club gets longer and then you have to put in your arms, otherwise you're going to stick it deep into the ground. So that's probably the number one reason why most golfers have problems. That's interesting. So you are saying if I do this quarter twist here, I basically get shaft lean, compression, great contact, consistent shots for free? In a nutshell, yes. I play golf for such a long time and I have never heard anybody teaching this. That's why you have me. So consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss another great video in the future. But how do I learn this? I want you to take a setup and take a backswing and try to leave at least a little bit of wrist extension which you had at setup up here in the top position. And now I actually want you to watch your hands and try to turn the shaft away from the target like this. I can actually see my logo now and from my glove, and it's moving a little bit away. Just a small turn, just to get used to the feeling. And then I move my hands down while I'm doing this. I'm doing this very gently in the beginning, very meaningful in the beginning. And when I have this feeling, I actually try to look at the golf ball. This will feel very weird in the beginning. So if I do this move, oh look, the trail elbow moves forward. It helps me shallow the shaft. Cool. Yes, when you do this movement here, this will trigger the trail elbow to move more into external rotation. And this will, of course, help you to shallow the shaft. Okay, I got it. So I do this move with the wrist, get down to here, get into the impact zone, and now I hold the wrist the whole entire time through the impact zone, right? No, sorry. You do not keep your hands quiet. You actually release the lead wrist towards extension after the impact. What? I was told that not moving the wrist through impact is better. You want to move them? I know it's very confusing, because if you look at great golf swings, you see that the hands look really still through the impact zone, supported by the body movement. But nowadays we have measuring devices like wrist sensors, and we can actually see what great golfers are doing. And we know as a matter of fact that they are not holding the wrist still. They are extending their lead wrist after impact. Look, you have to see it like this. If you would not let your wrist break, there would be so much speed, so much forces coming on your wrist joints, on your elbow joints. It would be really strenuous actually to do that. If you want to create speed at some point, and it has to be at the right point, of course, you want to break the wrist. Okay, got it. But it still feels strange. So practice this really slowly and meaningful. So you go up here, then you do the twist, move down into the impact zone, and just after impact here, you move your lead wrist into extension. Do it slow first, then later add some speed and start hitting golf balls slowly in the beginning, and they get faster and faster when you feel more comfortable. But do you do the same move also with the driver and with the fairway woods? The answer is yes. It's a very universal pattern for long shots. But I'll talk about this more in detail in this video, which I want you to watch next. See you over there. Bye-bye.